Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. We're back with the Ted Show. You know I love me a musical guest. You know all of you guys love anybody who's in the industry anyway, filmmaker, artist, all that good stuff. He does a lot of stuff. I don't really think he's going to sing for us. That's a different person. But look at him make the face. But you know, we'd love to have our artist guests on because they do so much for our community. And Nelson is one of those people. So welcome Nelson Gomez to the TED Show. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
Very excited. I love how you put, you notice I got to change this to not musical guest because I knew better than to write that. Tell us a little bit about you. You know, people love origin story. They want to know about you. People who are not creatives tend to think that that's all made up, and they don't understand how a creative does things in the quote unquote real world. So give them a little bit about your journey, if you would.
Well, I was born in the Caribbean, specifically the Dominican Republic, and I started getting interested in video recording when I was like 9 years old. I found a video camera that belonged to my father, but it was kind of hidden because he knew that eventually I was going to use it. So he had it hidden away from me, and I was just wandering around with one of my cousins that day, and I found it. And I said, yes, this is mine now. I'm sorry, Dad.
He knew.
I gotta have it. And we started filming everything. And obviously, eventually, he found the recordings. He kind of liked what he saw. He's like, well, son, do you want a camera? I'm like, yes. Nice. And I got my first camera when I was 10.
Though? That's an early age. That's kind of an early age. I mean, creatives usually tend to blossom. It's just that's an early age to know and to have a passion for that. Where did it come from?
I don't know. From my mom's side, we are all artists. In my mom's side, we have musicians, we have painters, we have writers. We got almost everything. And I think it was their influence that got me very aware of what was going on in the artistic side of my family. And yeah, I think I did see one of my uncles using a camera, and I kind of like combined the two things. I'm like, yeah, my dad has one of those. Let me just find it. Let me find that one. Yeah.
So do you see a story? Do you see a story when you're videoing? Like, I think a lot of people video. And I do want to hear your whole story. I want to talk about being a filmmaker. But I think people video and they have no idea what it is they're trying to capture. They don't really go into it with a thought process. And then they're kind of disappointed that maybe their vision didn't get shown. But tell us about your process with that, because it's not just a haphazard thing. It's something you have to really plan out if you're going to be impactful.
Yeah. I never go into it just because I have to. I have this like this feeling of what's going around me. If I feel something if I feel like the impulse of like writing about something that's going on around me or filming it, that's when I kind of understand what's my north. Like that's where I know what I'm going to work about. I never do it just like not knowing what I'm getting myself into. Never. I have to have.
You know, a lot of creatives have a hard time planning. That's why I ask. I think a lot of creative people, that's allegedly a different side of the brain, sort of. And so creatives don't necessarily plan. They go with the flow, free spirit, the whole stereotype that you think of with an artist. But most of the time, when you're the filmmakers that I've have interviewed, there's got to be some sort of plan. There's got to be a little.
Well, first of all, you have to write down everything. It could be either on a book or on your phone, and you have to have a good memory as well. You have to like understand how to link certain things that happen out of order, in order to know how the story might come together. Okay, so what the key is to not become desperate. Sure. Sometimes you gotta be the fisher and just let it come to you, you know. And once you have all the fishes and there's no more fishes in the sea, okay, you go as the hunter now. You have to put together the pieces, and that's it will never come in order. That's something that we make it clear. The story will never come in order, but you still have to know where you want to start and where you want to finish. That's
Yeah,
very
that's
important right
powerful.
there.
That's
Yeah.
I believe that. I think a lot of people struggle because they don't think it out. There's a lot of burgeoning filmmakers, videographers, because with the phone, it's just made it so easy to take video of
Yeah.
anything, and they think that just because they push that button, it's going to be this beautiful, amazing output. And a lot of them are disappointed. They don't realize how much time you guys put into it. So how did you make? It's one thing to love it as a kid. How did you make it a career of what you do, what your passion is, your life? How did you make that transition?
Well, um, I knew that I loved the art, and I had the chance to make some short films back in school. But it wasn't until I was 3 years into architecture in college that I understood that like my life goal was doing filmmaking, because my professors called me, "Oh, you're the architect that does movies." I'm like, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong.
There were a lot of
Uh,
signs for you to realize that
yeah,
you were.
yeah. I love my career of architecture, but I knew that my way was on film, and it
And so, how
wasn't
did you
like,
decide what to focus on? How did you decide? Like, do you make a particular type of film, or it's whatever the best script, the best story?
story. That's the key. It could be anything, any genre. If the story sells, I'm in. But I do have a favorite genre, which is romantic comedy. I gotta say, it's very easy for me to write about romantic comedy, and also because I tend to use personal stories that help me a lot.
So
Personal
your life is a
stories.
romantic comedy. Is that what we're
It's a
hearing?
romantic comedy. Yeah, it's either coming directly from me or my friends. I'm very picky, and I like to observe what's going on around them and write about it. I write about it. So it's common for them to like see some like kind of twisted story about them in some maybe short films I do, and they say, "Oh wait, this happened to me." I'm like, "Yes, it did."
You're like the Taylor Swift of X's for filmmaking.
We can say that. We can say that.
No,
Thank you.
that's good though, because you're taking this personal story, and I really believe people can tell the difference between a storyteller, a filmmaker who's actually making a story that they know about, or they feel, or they're passionate about, and one who is just making it for the money, or they're really not interested in it. They're just going through the motions. So I think the audience can actually feel that. I can tell
Yeah.
in a movie where there has just been passion going into everything.
Yeah.
And then I can tell a movie where it was shot so the studio could make $100 million back in the day when they made that kind of money. What are you working on now? Tell us what it looks like in your world. 2020 is gone. 2021's here. Is it beginning to come back for you? Did you ever have a downtime during 2020?
Well, I had a yeah, completely downtime 2020. I was getting into different hobbies that had nothing to do with film, and I was kind of losing myself. But did have the chance to do a micro documentary about what was going on with the pandemic in New York City, and like just the reality of seeing the New York City completely empty. And that micro doc is called New York Sleeps. Right now, 2021, I'm working with Domestica, which we are an online course that we do videos for artists for educational purposes. But
So
I am
you
still,
help create videos for like the different kinds of classes that we see.
yes,
Very
yes.
cool.
Right now, I am getting ready to move forward with documentary as well. I'm just trying to see what's going on with this pandemic and the COVID, and try to go out there and find stories all around the USA.
What's it like? You're in New York now, yeah.
I'm in New
I
York
think.
right now. Yes.
So what's it like? Just give us a little information on that. What's it like pandemic wise up there? Are you
It's
guys
like never
still
before.
shut down?
We're not completely shut down. We don't have dine-ins, so we cannot go to some restaurants if it's not outside. We can't go. Right now, the weather is kind of getting warmer, so that's good for us. I
Hallelujah.
think, thank you, thank you for that. So eventually, I think we're gonna be able to go back into restaurants and all those things. But I think touristy sites are all open. Last weekend, I was at the Edge, which is like the balcony that you can see the
Yeah.
whole New York City. So that was priceless.
Oh, I
Uh,
love that. Because
and
there's
yeah,
nothing like that view. At the right place, right time, that view is
yeah.
amazing.
The metro is like slowly like filling in once again, but the streets are still sort kind of empty. Yeah,
Yeah,
not as before.
it's just such a different world. You know, Florida. I won't get into pandemic much. Florida is just completely opposite. We are the opposite of anyone pretty much in the country. So it's been an interesting little Florida ride. Tell me about what's in the future. Tell me about your projects. Because first, wait, I want to go back to the content creation really quick because we did have a couple of questions before we went live. When you're creating content, you're helping them create content for the courses they want to offer for what they're teaching. So you're helping them
Yes,
kind of mold that into the course work,
yes,
the videos, so that they can sell the videos. I mean, let's just talk about the basic product. They're going to sell the video series because they know they have an audience of somebody who wants to learn the knowledge that they have to offer. And
that's
you help
correct.
them create that, package it, put it in so that it actually looks professional. Have you ever seen some of the ones that don't?
No,
They're
they
pretty
do not
scary.
exist.
It's so bad.
My
So that's
yeah,
very cool. What a smart thing.
yes. I gotta say that my job has taught me a lot. It has taught me to be very like more organized. It has taught me to be attended to details. And it has boosted up my creativity as well. The
Good.
how we use the cameras and how we rig them is it's amazing. And it's been great for me.
That's a skill. That's such an important. I feel like the pandemic has helped drive that kind of business up since
Yes.
we all got used to Zoom. I'm doing more Zoom oriented online educational stuff than I ever did before the pandemic. My age group, especially, is not the type that would naturally go toward a webinar online. What do you mean it's not in
Right.
person?
Right.
So I love the fact you're that area that you're in, that zone that you're in, is really really good. I think it's going to grow. What about on the ultra creative side, like the movie making side? What's going on there?
There you go. So again, thanks to my crewmates here in domestic, I've had the great opportunity to meet a lot of filmmakers, a lot of producers, documentary filmmakers, and I've had the blessing of being part of their crew now, uh, in the documentary side and the fiction film side. Tomorrow, I'm going to be part of production, film production. We are filming a horror genre film, and that's kind of I can say that's kind of my step in to the filmmaking world here
Love it.
in the USA. Yeah, and I'm
That's
very
so
excited
cool.
for that.
That's so cool. What do you
Eventually,
eventually
the
want to do? What do you want to do?
eventually the event,
You want to
yeah,
direct an Oscar-winning picture? Is that where we're going? What do you want to? Look, I'm going to try
that's
to
not
speak it into existence for you.
that's on my prayers every night. Every night. Yeah. My goal right now is to meet as much people as I can. You know, do my network, get to know people, learn from them, try to apply it on my own projects. Right? Yeah, and I just feel that it's going very well so far. And I can say with the relationships I'm getting right now, I can jump into making my own films. Maybe not Oscar winnings right now, or maybe not in 1 or 2 years, but that's the goal.
You got a goal, and you
That's
have
the
the
goal.
goal. Like we talked about earlier, that writing it down is just so
Yeah.
critical.
The trick is to write it and film it as if it's going to the Oscars. Eventually, we'll get there. You know.
All right. If anybody's out there struggling, we'll start to wrap up. Anybody struggling, especially if you've got somebody who wants to be a filmmaker, want to get in. Any words of advice for a brand new person who just feels like they've got a passion for it, but doesn't really know where to start?
Enjoy the process. Enjoy the process and celebrate each and every step you take. because if you wait to celebrate once you get there, you might not have anyone or any reason to celebrate it for. So enjoy the process now. Now that you're sure that you're making it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I love that was such a great segue. You roped the title into that end part there. Enjoy the process. Very, very good. All right, Nelson, how do people find you? They want to learn more about you. They want to talk to you about course creation. How do they reach you?
So you can reach me on my Instagram page is Nego Travels, which is Nego Travels, and in there you will find the link to everything else. So let's make it easy. Nego Travels Instagram.
You're awesome, man. You're welcome back anytime. Bring us one of those launches or pictures, or
Yes,
maybe you can come teach us, give us a little one-on-one on how to create some content so people get to know what you do. Because I think a lot of people want to do that kind of stuff. So thank you. Welcome, man. It was great to have you on the show.
It was nice.
All right, guys.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back. Reach out to Nelson. There's this website, but I've tagged him in everything. So just go on one of the tags.